Mom, they're yours now, she said, abandoning her 6 children with her 70-year-old mother before leaving. But she never expected that 5 years later, that cruel act would lead to an unbelievable miracle. In the heart of Indianapolis, where the humid summers cling to the streets like forgotten dreams, Beatrice Williams stood in the doorway of her modest bungalow, watching her daughter Megan climb into a waiting taxi. The engine revved, and just like that, Megan was gone. No backward glance, no tearful goodbye. The door slammed shut behind Beatrice, echoing through the cramped living room like a gunshot in the quiet afternoon. At 70, Beatrice's bones ached from years of hard work, but nothing prepared her for this weight. 6 grandchildren, wide-eyed and confused, staring up at her from the worn-out sofa. "Grandma?" 8-year-old Sophia's voice trembled as she clutched her little sister Ava, who was barely 2 and sucking her thumb. Ethan, the oldest at 10, held the baby of the family close, his face a mask of forced bravery. The twins, Caleb and Liam, 4 years old each, fidgeted with their toys, sensing the shift in the air. Charlotte, 6, wiped at her eyes with the back of her hand. Beatrice's heart shattered, but she couldn't let it show, not now. She knelt down, her knees protesting, and gathered them into her arms. "It's okay, my loves. Grandma's here. We're going to be just fine." But inside, panic clawed at her. Her Social Security check was meager, barely enough for 1 person, let alone 7. The pantry was sparse, some canned beans, day-old bread, and watery soup mix. Megan's farewell note on the table, scribbled in haste, offered no help. "I need to live my life. Take care of them for me." That first night was a blur of tears and makeshift comfort. Beatrice heated up the soup, portioning it out carefully. The kids ate in silence, glancing at the door as if their mom might burst back in, laughing that it was all a joke. But the door stayed shut. After tucking them into the 2 small bedrooms, 3 to a bed like sardines in a can, Beatrice sat at the kitchen table under the dim bulb. Bills piled up like accusations, rent overdue, electricity on the verge. She had $5 to her name. How would she feed them, clothe them, keep them from the clutches of Child Protective Services? A soft creak pulled her from her thoughts. Ethan stood in the doorway, holding a sleeping Ava. "Couldn't sleep, Grandma." He sat beside her, rocking his sister gently. Beatrice wrapped an arm around him. "We'll get through this, Ethan, I promise." But her voice wavered. Ethan's eyes, so like his late father's, Michael, killed in a construction accident 2 years back, held too much wisdom for a boy his age. "I know, Grandma, because you won't leave us, right?" "Never," she whispered, hugging them tight. Outside, the city hummed with indifferent life, but inside, a new chapter began, one of grit, love, and survival. Dawn broke too soon. Beatrice rose before the sun, scraping together oatmeal from the last of the pantry staples. No milk, just water and a pinch of sugar. The kids stirred, dressing in hand-me-downs that were too tight or too threadbare. Ethan helped the younger ones, his small shoulders squared like a little soldier. "We're gonna be okay," Ethan echoed Beatrice's words from the night before, though doubt flickered in his eyes. Walking the older kids to school was an ordeal. Beatrice's hip throbbed with every step, Ava heavy on her side. Whispers followed them, neighbors already buzzing about Megan's desertion. At the grocery store on the way back, Beatrice stared at her wallet. $5 for 2 weeks. She bought the basics, bread, eggs, cheap cereal, leaving her with pennies. Mr. Harrison, her 78-year-old neighbor, spotted her leaning against a wall, looking faint. "Mr. Williams, you all right?" His white mustache twitched with concern. Beatrice confessed in a rush, the abandonment, the fear. Mr. Harrison, widowed and lonely, insisted on helping. "Groceries on me today. Neighbors gotta stick together." Beatrice protested, but pride bowed to necessity. As they shopped, he shared stories of his days as a musician, lightening the load just a bit. Back home, life fell into a grueling rhythm. Beatrice sewed clothes for neighbors on her ancient Singer machine, her fingers raw and bleeding by nightfall. Mornings meant burritos sold on the street corner. Up at 3 a.m., dough kneaded by arthritic hands, Ethan shouting to passersby, "Fresh breakfast burritos, best in Indy!" Some days they sold out. Others, leftovers became dinner. The kids adapted. Sophia mothered the little ones, combing hair and wiping noses. Caleb and Liam played quietly, never demanding. Ava stopped asking for mommy and started calling Beatrice that instead. A bittersweet honor. 3 weeks in, the knock came. Miss Rodriguez from CPS, clipboard in hand, eyes scanning the peeling walls and crowded rooms. Report of minors without parents. Beatrice's world tilted. Ethan stepped up. Grandma takes care of us. We eat, we go to school. She loves us. Miss Rodriguez softened, but issued a warning. 3 months to improve conditions. Better food, clothes, income, or the kids could be removed. That night, Beatrice prayed desperately before her Virgin Mary statue. I need a miracle for them. Next door, Mr. Harrison pondered his dusty guitar, untouched since his wife's death. Maybe he could help in his own way. Exhaustion hit Beatrice like a freight train. Selling burritos in the May heat, she collapsed. Dehydration, malnutrition. Waking in bed, Dr. Emily Carter from the clinic warned, your body's giving out. You need help. Mr. Harrison, who had fetched the kids, stepped in. You're not alone. Let me teach them music. For free. His eyes misted. My Rosie and I never had kids. This could be my second chance. The first lesson transformed the house. Mr. Harrison's old guitar sang under his fingers, enchanting the kids. Ethan tried first, his long fingers finding chords naturally. Sophia's voice soared like an angel's. Caleb drummed on pots. Even the little ones swayed. Beatrice watched, tears flowing. For the first time, joy pierced the hardship. Music became their lifeline. Lessons daily, the kids blooming. Mr. Harrison, music feeds the soul when nothing else can. Beatrice sang too, her rusty voice reviving old hymns. It didn't pay bills, but it mended spirits. Christmas approached. Mr. Harrison suggested a gig at the community hall. Let them dream. The kids practiced relentlessly, choosing carols and ballads. On performance night, nerves jangled, but they shone. Sophia's voice silenced the room. Ethan's guitar wove magic. Applause thundered. Tips poured in. $230. Mr. Peterson offered weekly gigs, $50 a night. Success snowballed. Bullying at school, kids mocking their poverty, fueled a triumphant school festival performance. Sophia's original song about abandonment moved the crowd to tears. A viral video followed, captured at a party. Views exploded, 100,000, then 1 million. Their story spread. Abandoned kids turned musicians. Nashville called. Producer Jessica Miller flew in offering an RCA deal. Contract signed, album recorded amid school and grief. Mr. Harrison's health failed. Diabetes ravaged him. He collapsed mid-lesson. Hospitalized, he promised, I'll see your concert. The album, Grandma's Love, topped charts. Sold out debut at the Moret Theater. 3,000 fans. They dedicated songs to Beatrice and Mr. Harrison, who passed peacefully mid-show, smiling. Fame surged. Tours, albums, scholarships. Megan resurfaced, wealthy but empty, seeking reconciliation or profit. The kids rejected her. Your leaving set us free. International acclaim followed, but roots held firm. 5 years on, Beatrice, 75, watched her thriving family. Music healed. Love conquered. True family chooses to stay, and theirs had, against all odds.